All right, happy Monday. We are
Happy
back.
Monday.
The Monday is Mondaying, as they would say. Welcome back. We got the Digital Marketing Network. We got Mickey Black, Jennifer J on air talking about this week, talking about some social media strategies specifically Instagram, and even more specifically, talking about Instagram Reels. So I know, Instagram started out years ago as an image based platform where you share all your cool pics and interesting desserts and stuff. But now, with the advent of the video format wars, or you've got the TikTok, you got YouTube Shorts out there. So Instagram, is hanging in there, and they've got Instagram Reels. And so those are like 15 to 30-second clips, and a lot of people are using them in interesting ways to support different types of, whether it be brand launch, promos, sometimes just brand awareness. So we're talking about the things that you can do to make sure you're optimizing that platform. And I know, Jennifer, you're big on the Instagram Reels. Want to hear about some interesting things. Like, first, I guess, how do they work? How can people integrate their brand into them? But then, how have they been working for you in some of your executions?
Yeah, so I think I use Instagram Reels to get my message out. Because of me doing automations and systems, a lot of people really don't understand, but they can resonate with situations. So of course, if you've been watching me for some time, you have seen me dancing, you have seen me doing skits, you have seen me really just talking. You have seen it all, right? Because that's just who I am, my personality. You don't have to do that though. You can use reels to get your messages out any way you see fit. Some people build faceless brands with no, without even using themselves or talking or doing all of that. They just put their message up there, put a trending audio behind it, and, they go from there. For me, my success is just getting the education and the awareness out. It does allow people to see who you are, what you do, how you can help them, see your personality without you having to have a one-on-one with them.
That's a big deal, and and I think you touched on a couple of things that I want to make sure people get. One, well, the first thing, when you mentioned the trending audio or the trending sounds, that's a big deal. Just in terms of visibility and some of the tactics that people are using, and a major one, but also that presence that gets people to be familiar with you, familiar with your brand, familiar with how you think about the topic that you're sort of like selling yourself on. So whether it be accounting or legal advice that your brand is built on, having the opportunity to really almost do like a warm sales call. So when somebody's watching on social media, it's almost like a warm sales call where you have that sort of time with them, to talk about the things that you're, trying to sell.
Mhm.
What are some of the brands that you've seen that have sort of really kind of done things outside the box? So specifically on Instagram.
Specifically on Instagram, I've seen individual people, in not more brands, but individual people adopt consumable content, right? And what do I mean by that?
Yeah, I was
So
gonna ask. Yeah.
if you make it to where someone is going to consistently come back looking for you, looking for your content. That's consumable content. So I was just having a conversation with my business bestie about reels. Funny we're talking about it today because we were coming up with our content strategy for our business for the rest of the year. And so in talking about where our avatars lie, right? I said, well, home service businesses, they just want to go home, grab a beer and chill. They're not necessarily on Facebook. They're watching reels, but if they're watching them, they're scrolling like this
Mhm.
and looking for consumable content. So if you look at comedians who just take content and it's just like a commentary, they'll post a picture and just start talking about it. Or you see people who do skits and the skits are entertaining. So you're always looking to see who came back and when are you releasing some more content, right? And so I think what you really need to do is figure out what's your goal on there, right? Everything is about strategy. So us in business, our strategy for reels is to eventually get the person to know, like, and trust us. There's those words, and do
Mhm.
business with us, right? Or if not do business with us, I was talking to a young man this morning, refer somebody who they know needs our help, right? So it's not even always about the direct customer, it's about indirectly. And it's about bringing that awareness, grabbing that attention. So the strategy definitely needs to be to grab the attention, have consumable content, and keep you in the mind of the people so that if they run across somebody, they'll remember. And I try to make consumable content. I do a lot of silly stuff, but you remember it.
And that whole memorability piece is big, and the whole consumable thing. So thank you for breaking down that whole concept of consumable content. One other thing that, as we talk around engagement, that comes to mind is the whole feature set around Go High Level and the ability to automate engagement specifically on Instagram. So I've been super impressed with that feature. So to tell you the truth, I've had instances where I would have a lead come in and I wouldn't know where it came from. And I saw that Instagram has engagements that can be tracked by Go High Level. It's integrated into the system. Once you turn on the automatic AI, the AI will engage for you and then drive that lead to whatever conversion you've set it for. And so sometimes I'll get up and I'll see this activity that I didn't even anticipate. I didn't know it was gonna sort of like work that proactively. How have you been integrating that piece around the AI, the automation when it comes to Instagram?
So Instagram is not my channel. Um, but I can tell you the concept. So yes, I do schedule my reels. I do all I post on Instagram is reels. But I can schedule them through high level, right? And
Mhm.
so let me explain that because I've gotten this question a lot. You have to put your reel together first. The scheduler is not going to allow you to put together the reel. It's just to schedule it to post. So you would prepare your reel the same way you would do any other reel if you were manually posting it. The difference is you just get your description and you put everything you're going to put in the reel, and then you download it to your device so that you can pick it and schedule it as a video. So once you do that, you're allowed to schedule your reels and then re-engage, whether you re-engage manually or whether you re-engage via AI. So for me, my thing, so like reel I put out today said to DM demo to my phone number. That's giving me that engagement. And someone responds to that reel, High Level is connected so that if they respond, the AI is going to pick it up. So even while we're having a discussion here, if someone responds, the AI will pick it up and navigate them through where I want them to go because I told them to.
Nice, nice. And you use the automation and the AI to give you that capacity to scale. Because if, let's say, one of your reels go viral, you got 200 people hitting you with the demo, you can't respond to all of that. So the system gives you the ability to really leverage the technology to meet that consumer demand, even if it should blow up. That is super dope. So I got as I was putting things together. I got 5 tips. So I actually got this from the AI. So I got 5 tips on putting together or maximizing reels for business growth. So the five, leveraging the audio trends and the hashtag trends, and just making, because people a lot of times will navigate based on those sounds. Like they want to see all the people, the videos that have that sound, and so that's a way of giving you visibility. Another thing is they say keep it short and engaging versus like long form, like YouTube longs, like they say long, is out, and so they everything is like 15 to 30 seconds. They say just
Mhm.
short, engaging, surprising, and people scroll. So that's one of the tips. Then one of the things they say is take advantage of behind the scenes content. Do you do that? Do you just like shoot yourself while you're doing your work or whatever, and do some behind the scenes content?
No, because I don't know how. And
Let's
I'm
say
not
put
like,
the
I think it's
camera.
more than a notion.
It is. It is. I mean, sometimes honestly, like I'll put a secondary camera on the side to shoot or whatever. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm editing it, so but I've got some
Right. See,
behind the yeah
that's a whole nother job.
yeah the editing,
It's enough
you
to
know.
edit these reels.
But behind the scenes is supposed to be another cool thing. And then one of the other tips is all these, they got the new editing tools. So like CapCut, there's different editing tools to be able to use those to make your videos interesting and maybe polish it up a little bit. And then one thing you mentioned that a lot of people overlook, and this is number 5, is to include a clear call to action. And so you talked about,
Mhm,
text demo to this number.
mhm.
And then a lot of people forget to really make sure that there's a call to action to engage the consumer. So that's my top 5.
Yeah, when we think about call to action, um, it's just when people are consuming content like that, it's since we can't put links in the descriptions, um, we have to be creative,
Mm-hmm.
and High Level allows us to be creative, right? Because you can use the SMS features, or since you're on Instagram, I could have just said
Yeah.
DM me the word demo, right?
Yeah.
And how the automation pick it up that way.
Mm-hmm.
But because I have AI on my Instagram, it'll pick it up anyway because the goal is the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be creative, whether it's texting or DMing us, because what other call to action can you do? I try to create, vanity domains like systemsactivate.com. People will remember that. So I keep it. And that was birthed from Morning Meetup. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't know. I didn't
So
know.
yeah, yeah. I guess it was a TikTok or a reel or something where people were saying Holy Spirits activate. And so one day somebody when I was talking or doing housekeeping or something on there, they were like, "Holy systems activate," something. I said, I went and bought the domain and I've been using it ever since. And it's good. So you have to think of things that people will remember when they're
Gotcha.
watching reels, or that they could screenshot with their phone and come back later and do.
Yeah, yeah. Those are super cool ideas, and I didn't even know the piece about the systems activate
Yep.
origin story.
Yep.
All right, so that is a whole lot of value I think we gave today. Anything else you want to drop for the people before we jet out of here?
Yeah, just make sure you have a strategy and get started. Your first ones are not going to be perfect. It doesn't matter. You think it's something wrong with it, but it's really not. It's good. Just go with it and get started with anything. Get started. Even if you put a bunch of pictures up, just get started.
That is a good one. I like that one. Just get started. That is the most important thing. Like Nike, just do it. All right, with that, we will say adieu. It's Monday. Awesome. Have a good one. Cheers. We will be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow we are talking more digital marketing. I think we might be talking about email automation, but we will be back then. Until then, have an automated day. Cheers.